everyone. Welcome to the first performance of the last day of Prelude 2014. Thank you for joining us at 4 on Friday. It goes on, it continues. I hope you'll all sign up for the bus and join us at the party downtown later. It is a real joy to introduce Grand Lady Dance House and their piece that you're about to see, Master Flower's summer version. Grand Lady Dance House is based in both New York and Los Angeles. The thing that you're about to see is in an early stage of development, which began at UCLA this summer. So please enjoy.
Ready and go and go. We ask permission to learn. Ready and go and go. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves.
Please take the sweets.
Ready and go and go.
One possibility is to regulate your life with a high level of polish. You move towards and away from every object and living thing with care, and that's how you make the ultimate experience. Everything is perfect.
This is my Fender Stratocaster. It's Mexican made, and it was my dad's for about 2 years, and then he got tired of it, and so then he gave it to me.
This is our Alesis QX49. It has 49 keys. We bought it from Armin on 30th Street and 7th Avenue. We bought it. The thing we bought together. Andrew got the other half of it yet.
These are our hats. We bought them at Thai Costco in Los Angeles. It's not really called Thai Costco, but I call it Thai Costco because it's this giant Thai store. I don't really know the manufacturer, but as you can see, mine is male colored and Jenny's is female.
These are our computers. They are Apple MacBook Pros. I used to have a really old computer, and when I used Andrew's, it felt very new to me, and then I got a new computer, and now his feels kind of old.
I'm not going to go into everything, but this is our Heart Key practice amp. It's 20 watts, and it is a bass amplifier. It's pretty small. We've had it for about 2 weeks. We got it, it's a borrow from my friend Alexander.
These are our traditional fuchsias. This is my dress. It was made by a designer called James Kidd, who is also a choreographer. She has a studio out of Lincoln Heights in Los Angeles, and she makes a lot of clothes for the experimental dance community in Los Angeles.
And my shorts are also made by James Kidd.
Eventually, we would like to tour this piece in an enclosed space that we build ourselves and port around to different places. It would be about 4.5 by 4.5 max in dimension, and could fit probably around 10 guests inside it at a time.
It's daytime. The light is dim because the low overhanging parts of the roof only let a few rays in. Everything is a sober color, including what everyone is wearing. Everything is old and faded because to buy new things is intellect. Except for, of course, our shorts and dress, which are both new and clean. Everything is clean. There's no dirt, not even in the corners.
This room is only a short-term shelter for our bodies. Bodies are like flimsy shacks in the woods made of grass.
Let's get nature's face really close to our face. There is something that holds everything which was here before there was anything. I don't know its name, so I call it the trail. It is the hike rather than the trail. It is the star souls changing all the time. It is never-ending growth which grows on itself to make new kinds of itself. It flows back on itself like a dragon. Favorite. It makes so many different shapes. It may be talked about as a huge change. It is what the universe verse feels like it can mean depending on how you translate it.
It can mean, depending on how you translate it, the countryside, logic, our style. I want to see you pee. Chase something downstream. Smile with your eyes closed. I want to see you peeing, looking at anything. I want to see you freak out with a shirt on, no pants. I want to see you looking at photographs. I want to see you hugging 2 dogs. I want to see you loving bread. I want to see you making rich feel poor. I want to see you cry.
Cry? I'm gonna have to work on that. I do fucking love bread though. Pee on you?
On me. I want you to admit all your infidelities. Fix an electrical circuit. I want you to brush an animal. How about to brush an animal?
Okay, I want to see you painting rocks, trying on shoes, slinking away, reading quietly, talking about your character's backstory.
Aquila was born in rural Ohio. He was a DJ for 13 years.
Okay. Make eyes, make clothes, trust me, haggle over prices, eat just salad dressing. I want you to sing songs into my mouth.
Yes, I will do those things.
I want you to braid my hair, take me by the wrist across the street, wrangle an imaginary child, sing emotionally, clean me up, I am covered in dirt.
I want to see you bark back at dogs. I want to see you sample toothpaste. I want to see you sample toothpaste.
I want you to sell art, kiss my eyes, check the map, be sweet to others, make warnings.
Wait, have I made you warnings?
I think what I really mean is you have made me signs of warnings, but yes, you have given me warnings.
Sweetheart, have I made you warnings?
Yeah, but I kind of like them.
Ready and go and. Ready and go and. Ready and go and.
He was born in rural Ohio. His mother was crazy, so he was kind of like raised by his aunt. And she had like all these disco records, so he became this like really famous DJ. And but one night he was double-crossed and his car was ransacked. So he moved to Norway.
Why Norway?
Well, he was like really into the club scene in Zurich, and so he just wanted to be someplace he could pop over.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So how did Haruki get into electronic music?
I don't know.
Well, did she have friends?
Oh no, she never had any friends actually.
Did she do drugs?
No, never drunks.
What about dancing or?
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll tell you.
Okay, well, like, how did she get
I
into
saw
it?
your sweaters. I saw your sweat scatter as it flew into the afternoon sun from your dark blue tunic. I saw your pleated skirt, and it gave me glimpses of your sleek amber thigh, and it gave me glimpses of your body dancing underneath, and it stirred me. Yours was the first body that I noticed when I came into the hall. It was like enveloped in a kind of stillness that came from how economical all of your positions were that you took on.
So, Haruki's from Austria, right?
No. Her parents were diplomats, but she moved around a lot, and Austria was one of the places, but this is in Norway.
Cool.
She's like 20 years old, and one night she likes to walk around at nighttime, and she walks past this house, and all of the doors and the windows are wide open, and there's this threatening, pulsing, throbbing music coming from the house. She's never heard anything like it before because she's a concert harpist because her parents are diplomats, and so she is completely stopped in her tracks, and then she notices on this stone wall in the distance there's this young man there, and he's wearing a maroon hat and she's wearing a red hat, and she goes up to him and she asks him, "What is this music? Tell me what it is." And he tells her what it is and what he likes about it.
So to say it?
Yeah, we're trying to be comfy here, I think, right?
So they like dumb it down?
Well, if you could put it like that, but you know, it's not really dumbing it down.
Well, I'll just like say whatever. Like Aquila likes freedom within constraints.
Yeah, that's good. I really like that.
Yeah, okay.
No, that's perfect. It matches
I guess.
the tea. I want you to check the map and tell us how we're going to get home on the subway tonight. Just have to find where we are and where we're going.
We're on like 5th Street.
Fifth Avenue.
It's like a yellow one.
Yeah. And then you take that to, remember what color I told you the L was?
Yeah. Can we just do the third one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready? And go. And. Andrew really hates this one. Ready? And go. And 1, 2, 3. Rest. Rest, rest, rest. 1, 2, 3. Rest. Rest, 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 rest. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Rest. 1, 2, 3. Rest, 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 rest. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Rest, rest, rest. Ready and go and.
Now we're gonna make a vacuum.
It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves. Clear to ourselves, 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 clear to ourselves. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we are clear to ourselves, clear to ourselves. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves. We have made ourselves, we have made ourselves to ourselves. It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves to ourselves. It is the fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves. It is the fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves. It is the fault.
Now that we have reached this point, we'd like to speak with you more intimately. If you would like, please drop your chins to your chest and hang your heads. It is nighttime and you droop. Your spine is thick and bristly. Around your seat protrude pubescent oval green pads that cushion you. Now drop your tail back into your seat and lift your head up, and with your hands unfold like fog coming out of a ditch. Look at them. You are soft purple with reddish blue insides. You are wet and soft like the ground after it's been raining. You have wrinkles like the ones in leather boots worn by cowboys. I see you all gleaming like a lake with a breeze blowing on it. Now, curl your fingers. You are withering away. And release your hands back down into a comfortable position.
Flowers make death less scary. Could you imagine a world without them? It's frightening to think of a world without them. Don't they comfort sick people when they're dying? They lighten people's day when they're dark. When we're dead in the ground, don't they continue to mourn over our graves? When primitive man first gave flowers to his girl, that's when he stopped being an animal. He made use out of something that was seemingly useless. But even though we've learned to love flowers, we're still animals. All we think about is food and fucking. That's right. We think we control everything, but we don't. is still on her fingers. Tell me, will that be kind? You may end up imprisoned in the head of a heartless person or a buttonhole of someone who wouldn't even look you in the face if you were a human. You may be imprisoned in a vase with only stagnant water.
Flowers. You may meet someone with scissors and a saw. He would call himself a master of flowers. He would call himself a doctor, and you would hate him, for you know that doctors like to see you in pain. He would cut, bend, and twist you into positions he thinks that you should be in. He would distort your muscles and dislocate your bones, stick wires into you to make you stand up straight, and then brag about how he has made you live 2 to 3 more weeks longer than you would have if it wasn't for him. What did you do to deserve this? In this room, we are all flowers and masters of flowers at once. I need your love. I need your love. I need your love. Oh God, okay, stop. Hold on. Let us not be too sentimental. I'm going to tell you a story. The palace where a very precious old painting was being protected suddenly catches fire because the soldier that was supposed to be looking after it got careless. So he decides he has to rescue this burning painting. So he rushes into the burning building, grabs the painting, and then realizes he is completely cut off by the flames. So he grabs his sword, slashes open his body, grabs the painting, wraps a t-shirt around it, and sticks it into his giant wound. Fire is eventually put out, and when the people come and they dig through the ashes, they find this burned, cut open corpse with a painting still inside it, not burnt at all. This is a horrible story, but it is a good example of the flower sacrifice. Why don't we destroy flowers if then new forms can grow? Hold on. Why do we have to feel like we have to make things? The beauty of life lies in just existing beautifully. We can make the everyday things with our body enough.
It is a fault to wish to be understood before we have made ourselves clear to ourselves.
Please forgive us our mistakes.